What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Pete's Car Report, and welcome to another video on the sc300. We are going to take a short break on doing body work because I am burned out on doing all this, and I want to get this car back down so I can move it out of the way and work on some other things so that I don't get so burnt out on just body work. But I promise you, this is one of the main focuses right now. I have some other things I want to do. I have some things I need to fix on the S500, and I want to get that BMW over there, our drift car, running as well. But today we're just going to do a shift of things to do on this car, and we're going to be working on the big brakes. And let me show you guys what I've got going on here. So look at this here. So these are our ls400 big brakes, and look at this color. So this is how I purchased them. The guy had them fully rebuilt and painted, and accidentally put them down on top of a red cloth, probably like one of those shop towels, and both of them looked like this. So I started to sand it down. That didn't seem to be going too well, so I grabbed myself some lacquer thinner, some acetone, and then last thing I was gonna try was the paint stripper. And so I started with the lacquer thinner. Didn't seem to really be getting any of this cloth off here. And then I went to the acetone, and it started to really get it off, and I noticed this silver color underneath. And I decided, let me try putting some paint stripper on there, and holy crap. It basically melted away that top gold layer that had all that red cloth built into it, and underneath was this gloss silver, and then right behind it is this matte kind of silver color. So what I was gonna do is just clean these whole things off. It looks absolutely phenomenal, except ironically, I decided to start sanding it. That was the first step I started doing, and you can see here, it doesn't look great. But I think what I'm gonna do though is we're gonna definitely clean this one completely down. I'm gonna speed through the process, but you guys are gonna be amazed at how it just starts peeling off. It was probably one of the most satisfying things I've done in a long time, as far as like seeing a quick conversion of something that, honestly, in my opinion, this looked pretty cool. I really thought this gold was amazing. It's a very, very high gloss gold. But wow, what a difference just by cleaning them down. Now, I'm not trying to make the most perfect brake caliper, so I might end up just keeping this or painting this strip here, since this is the main area that I sanded. Not too worried about a little mark here and there, because they're probably going to get scratched up over time anyway. So what I might do would be really cool is if I could get something that says sc300 going across here. That would be awesome. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to finish cleaning that one down, but I'm going to record in fast motion how this one's going to be stripped down. Then we're going to install them. I've also got drilled and slotted rotors, and we've got braided brake lines to put on. So I ordered all this a long time ago from somebody off of OfferUp out in California, and he shipped me out everything he had. He was ready to slap these on his sc300, and he wrecked his car, is what he said, prior to installing these, but he already had somebody rebuilding them and doing everything for him. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to clean these down. We're going to put on these brakes right here, and we're going to see how they look inside the car. So guys, how amazing do these look compared to what they looked like just a little bit ago? I mean, I am absolutely blown away. I know some of you guys are gonna be like, why didn't you clean down the back areas and all this? I started to do everything, as you guys might have seen in the video, and I realized the only part that's really going to be seen on this is going to be this front area here. So I just wanted to make sure that was really cleaned down. Also did the tops here the best I could. I just didn't want to spend too much time cleaning down that whole back area when it's never going to be seen. And if I ever decide to repaint these, then I'll spend the time stripping the entire things down, sanding them, and prepping them properly. But I think they look awesome. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now let's go ahead and step over to the car, take off the old calipers, the old brake lines, the old rotors, and we'll go ahead and put all the new parts on. I'm excited. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is pretty simple to take off and change out. You've got two 17mm bolts that are going to be on the back side here. That's going to allow you to pull your caliper off. Of course, the caliper is attached to a brake line. We're going to be removing this because we're going to add the braided brake lines down here, which will actually help improve braking as well because it creates more pressure. Old brake lines are actually unsafe too, so we want to make sure we change them out no matter what over the years. These rotors here, they should just pop right off once we get everything out, and we're going to have to trim our dust shield here because our rotors are now going to come up much higher. So quite a few things to do. I'll show you guys on one side how I get it, probably speed through a lot of it, and then we'll jump to the other side. I'll finish that off and I'll show you guys how everything looks when it's done. As far as the back goes, that's going to be a completely different video. I've got a second brake caliper for the rear. We're going to keep the stock rotors, but we're going to be adding our hydro in, so that's going to be a very exciting video. So we'll start with rebuilding the back brakes, then adding the hydro, and that'll be all a separate series coming up here, guys, in a short time. So stay tuned. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you start subscribing now because this Lexus is going to have a lot of stuff done to it. Stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and remove all this, and then we're going to add our new stuff. So I was having a little bit of an issue getting the brake line off, so I just nailed it with some penetrating fluid and decided to cut it off so we can kind of move on. Let me go ahead and grab the new rotors. We'll throw those on there. We can even throw the new brake calipers in, and then we can work on getting that line off. It is a little bit easier to get to that when these are off, but not a whole lot different. But this will allow me to go ahead while I'm waiting for that to start working to go ahead and cut this and shape this so I know exactly how that has to go. So a couple fill-ins. As some of you guys saw, this was a broken bolt here, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that out because all I got to do is spin it to right here, get a new one, slide it in, hammer it in. This just hammered right out. The other thing is I try to just do as much research as I could before putting these on because I bought these used and what direction, what side these go on. So basically, from what I understand now, is it matters about the vane. So technically these can go on either side, it doesn't matter, but most people put the slots facing back towards the back of the car, and that is what a lot of the research will tell you anyways, because some high-end companies like Brembro will specify that the slots will face towards the back of the car, whereas the research that I found on almost every video and tutorial says As long as the slots are straight, it doesn't matter. If the slots are angled, they go towards the back of the car from what I understand. Of course, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But if you see anything I'm doing wrong, let me know. I'll go ahead and reverse it and update the video, of course. But let's go ahead and get that swapped out. Like I said, I already cut the line, so I'm letting the brake fluid drain out because we're going to swap that out anyway, so it didn't matter. And I've already drench that down in penetrating fluid, so I'll be able to get that off. We're going to move quickly through this, get this on, get our brake calipers on, but I'm going to go run down and grab one of those. What's up, guys? It's a new day. For you guys, it's the same day, but it absolutely poured a little while ago, and it finally stopped raining, so I decided I was going to come up here and try to finish this off. I had to go buy a new wrench because this is actually a 10 millimeter, and I got myself the brake line wrench, the line wrench that kind of goes over this. And came off really easily after, you know, spraying it down with that lubrication. We got this off really easily. So it is a 10 millimeter, and hopefully that's the same on everyone's car. I was told that this could be a very difficult line to get on since they over tighten these from the factory, and there's a possibility of flaring. Luckily, mine went on really easy, so I basically left the stock one just dangling here. I just wanted to make sure that fit, so we got that. Another heads up, I did not have to cut this. I just literally bent this and took the bottom area and hammered it. And sorry about that sound. I've already checked it. It is not rubbing at all. But now we're going to go ahead and get our brake caliper lined up. Then we can get our lines put back on. Obviously, we're going to need new fluid, and I need to take all that off and line everything up into there. I'll go ahead and get everything set up so you guys can see that. Okay, guys, so just a heads up on setting up these pads. You basically put your pads in backing, obviously, this direction. Make sure you lube them. This right here will look like this when it's off. All you do is you set it down, you slide one pin over top of this through the two holes out the back with your little hole here. So you want to slide them in this way with a little, looks like a flathead screw hole. And then you basically pull down on this, and it creates tension. You slide that one through. And then this little clip here, which came separately in my kit because I did get these used. The guy did send along a whole new set of hardware. This kind of slides in. You just put it down facing this direction with your little pin, slide those into the two holes, and then take this, pull it apart, and let it go into that hole right there. That's going to keep everything in place. Your pins will be locked in. So let's bring it now over to the car and start installing it on the car. Alright, guys, we're going to reuse our 17 millimeter bolts. I am going to add a little Loctite. As with any braking component, you want to make sure you put Loctite back on them, any of the ones that hold on, because you get a lot of vibrations up in this system, and you want to make sure bolts don't come loose. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of Loctite on there. Now I'm going to grab my caliper, slide it up in there, and we'll set those. I need two hands to do this, and we'll go ahead and set one of those bolts in. This way we don't have to hold on to this. Alright, guys, as you can see, everything is on now. This caliper looked like it gave me a lot of trouble, but honestly, it was just me trying to get this rotor to press up against it because we've got these extended studs here for the spacer that was on there. I think we're going to put the spacer back on because it aligned that wheel on really nice, and hopefully our wheels will fit right over this because we do have those TSWs to put on anyways, but it'd be nice if we can get these on there. I did not double check, but I feel like those should fit right over this brake caliper. We'll find out in a second. All I got to do now is run this brake line. Obviously, we're not going to use the car today because I still got to fill it and bleed it, but I wanted to fill you in. Basically, there is a 12 millimeter bolt that bolts up under here and holds the brake line on. I'm having a hell of a time getting this off, so for right now, I'm going to leave it. I had cut it already. And then on your new brake lines, there is this. So this will basically slide up under here, and you'll put that 12 millimeter bolt right in so that this thing stays. Now, actually, it's going to go back through here like the stock one did. So I'll slide it up through there, get that connected, and then it connects to the back with a bolt that comes with this set here. So you got a bolt with a washer on each side, and then it's going to screw right in. I'll show you guys that over on the bench on the other one so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, so this is what I meant. You basically have a washer on the outside and a washer on the inside. So the set comes with two washers on the bolt, so you got to make sure you slide one off. slide it through this end, which is an open end on your line, tighten it all up, and you should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. You can see the bolt has a hole in it that allows the fluid to flow through your line into the bolt and basically into there. So let's go ahead and get it set up on the car. I'll show you guys how everything came out. I am very excited and can't wait to have this whole thing set up and down on the ground and ready to use. Okay guys, so that's about it. Normally I'd throw the tire back on and show you guys, but I'm just doing this one side. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things I still have to do, but I wanted to get you guys an idea of how this big brake kit goes on. I've seen where people have to do some modifications to this to get it to fit on there. I didn't have to do any of this. Everything slid right up, mounted perfectly. I don't know if it's the set that I got. Also, I'm not hitting any of this metal. All I had to do is bang this down a little bit with a hammer. But you guys can see here, these studs are a little bit bent out of shape. Don't worry, as you can see, I didn't get that one yet. I'm debating on getting the stock ones and going with no spacer, or going with these longer ones that are already on here and just replacing all of them. So I'm planning on taking this all back down. Like I said, I still gotta bleed the brake system, tighten up everything. And if you guys know, I figured I might as well post this video now, how the hell to get that thing off. I know it's probably something so stupid. I've taken them off many times on other cars, and usually they just pop right out from what I remember, but I have tried everything and I can't get a vice grip in there to pull it apart. Just let me know, do I have to wiggle it and just pull it out, or is there something I gotta do different? Thanks again, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying how this is coming out. These big brakes look awesome. I was super shocked at how well these things cleaned up. I mean, let me know in the comments what you think. Should I take them back out, paint them, keep them that color? I'm not really into like bright colors like the lime greens and the reds and so forth. I kind of like either black or like a gray, or even the silver to me looks really nice. Once again, guys, my name's Pete. This is Pete's Carport. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I learned something from you. You guys stay safe out there. Have a blessed day and enjoy the rest of your week.